I made it through the school year with 5 students, a toddler, and a baby. In this video, I'm sharing 3 tips for planning your homeschool year with a baby in the house. I'm Cherrick, and welcome to my channel. We are going to look at how to get your timetable set up, and then how to fill that in with the subjects you want to use, and finally selecting those books. So the very first thing that I did was to set up my timetable for the whole day. What things go where. And I preferred to do this in an outline format. And then what I did was I looked at 30-minute chunks of time. Now, sometimes I would have like a 15-minute tidy time or a play break. I might do 5 minutes of tidy time and then follow that up with 10 minutes of play, and then we would move on to the next activity, in the day schedule. But I really think that block scheduling is key to figuring out what your day should look like. Obviously, this is kind of an ideal. This is something we're aiming for. Now, one thing that could be useful, and I have noticed this as I have kept track of our daily schedule, is that the baby's schedule kind of changes as they develop. So it could be useful to set up a timetable for the first 3 months of the baby's life and what that's going to look like if you have a newborn in the house. When the baby's schedule moves to a more predictable schedule, maybe they move to 2 and 3 naps, that kind of time period, around 4 months they do start to even out. Then you can maybe set up another timetable for that. Again, this is just something we're looking forward to, and kind of in your mind you can write down, okay, in February the baby will be 4 months old, and this could be how we run our homeschool routine. So as I'm planning our homeschool for the year, I am looking at each day and then of course each time of the day, and I like to schedule all of our stuff in the morning. Usually what I find is afternoons get full of activities, practices, a lesson here and there. So I'm really looking at, okay, what can I do with the time in the morning for our academic work and the stuff that really requires me to be present, sitting down, engaging with a child. And then the rest of the afternoon can do what it will do. Now, remember, we're talking about a baby being in the home. So there is so much grace going on, but I think that there is so much joy and so much satisfaction in making a plan that, we're just kind of thinking ahead to what this schedule is going to look like, because right, we want to be prepared. We don't want to be surprised when the baby needs a nap and the 6-year-old needs to learn how to read, right? We're planning for these things that we want to have happen, and this will help us all thrive. So then the next thing that I like to do is to look at the day and go, okay, what subjects need to happen at what time of day? So for us, math is going to happen absolutely first. But what needs to happen in my home is I need to have older kids who have their math that they can do on their own. I need that to happen at the same time, while I am helping first, second, third graders who need me to read, who need me to explain more of their stuff. I need to be sitting with them or working on alternating between one student and the next. So I'm doing that between 9 and 10, which our start time is 9 right now. So that's kind of where I've pinned that. But then I'm looking at the other subjects going, okay, what needs to happen at what time so that we can all get these things in, based on when baby's going to be napping, when dad starts to work, right? We're kind of looking at all of those things, but really we're focusing, after we get the timetable set up, we're focusing on the specific subjects and where we want to plug those in throughout the week. Now that we have our timetable set up Then we have the subjects that we've decided we want to incorporate into the homeschool. I even took it a step further and said, okay, this is what most of my day will look like. And then I went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They all had a little bit of a different rhythm based on the commitments that we have, a co-op that we're working within, and other activities. So then now we're starting to fill in our books. What is the specific book though I want for this subject? And then what curriculum am I going to be incorporating? And now what I did is I chunked my kids into groups based on their development and their age. Charlotte Mason uses forms, and a form is kind of more of a European thing. So a form is like first, second, and third grade are form 1, and those are grouped together. And the reason that they're grouped together is because kids in those ages can overlap with their abilities. You can do the same books together as far as read alouds. Some of them might be at the same reading level. So that's just a really helpful way to group those students. And then you have 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and that is form 2. And notice the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders are together. In American schools, we tend to put the 6th graders up in middle school. And I'm finding that that is not as helpful from a developmental perspective. So you really have a giant leap from 3rd to 4th grade, and then you have another giant leap from 6th to 7th grade. So you can really put those Form 2 students, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders together with a lot of overlapping books. So that's just another way to think about it. And then Form 3 is 7th and 8th grade. And then you have Forms 4 and 5 in the upper grades, and we're not going to focus on those right now. So now that you kind of understand, okay, I don't have to get an individual book for each student, but I can just plan on the forms that I have in my home right now. So in my home, I have a Form 3, 2 Form 2 students, and 2 Form 1 students. So my book list was really, what am I getting for my Form 1? What am I getting for my Form 2? And what am I getting for my Form 3? See how that just really makes my planning a little bit easier. So what I want to just end with is, it is so helpful when you have many students to plan for the whole year, as much detail as you possibly can, pulling all of those resources out, because what that will do is really help you get going for the school year, especially when you have a baby in the house. Well, that's all I have for planning your homeschool with a baby at home. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.